and welcome to another installment of TED Excellence, the show in which the spoken word is king. And I come to you live from my Christmas Corona bunker on the moon with Dog Cat Fox, a Pepperjack, and all of you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday, Christmas Eve Thursday. Hope you're all doing well. We're just about there to the wonderful world of the holidays, family and worry and travel and masks and all types of stuff. Right, guys? Oh, boy. Well, I thought we would ring in the Yuletide with something that just looks, so perfect for a TED Excellence. A spoken word jam that runs just under 20 minutes. Entitled, Dear Racism, a Breakup Letter from a White Man. But I'll get into that more so in a minute. Who is joining me on this wonderful Christmas Eve? Why, that would be Matt Barnes, hello. Jaeger Pony, hello. Zeke Weiss, hello. Fun Time Bats, hello. Mike R, hello. Peter Salak, Hades 313, hello. Swirl Blue, hello. JD Melquist, hello. Spittle Buggies, hello. Resolute Germ, hello. Atheist Icon, hello. It's a Llama, hello. The Best Remy, hello. Keever Dam, hello. Evil One, hello. Let's see, who else is here? Because chat's going to jump, isn't it? Yes, it did. Shortline 614, hello. Robert Pincus, hello. Brad Young, hello. Hope you're all doing well. If I missed anybody, I don't think I did, but if I did, I apologize. If you're joining me tonight, well, maybe you're an orphan Christmas bound like I am, essentially. My family we already did our celebrations earlier in the month, so I'm not somewhere I should be or without family or anything, but I will be effectively alone on the holidays. If you happen to be as well, I hope you are warm and safe and well, and you've had some kind of presents come your way. But this is my present to you. Yes, TED Excellence. What better way to ring in the end of the year? I'll be doing that next week too, but either way. So where are we? Well, I'm hoping this is satire. I'm really hoping this is satire. I have a feeling it's not going to be, but I hope that it is for our speaker's sake. Because if you were able to see the thumbnail before the stream started, I don't know if I could imagine a more cliche, guilty white person than someone who wears, well, you'll see. It's not a spoiler so much, but you'll see. But let's see. So bingo card tonight is bingo card C as in Charles Bukowski. If you'd like to participate in the polls that determine what bingo card will be used on a TED Excellence, be sure to follow me on Twitter. That's my best pitchman voice. All right. Any other business to cover before we move into the wonderful world of TEDx? I don't think so, but there you go. Shortline 614 has something to say. Wow, Scribe, what an amazing yet shitty present. Yes, TED Excellence is the ugly sweater of live streams. It's true. Thank you, Officer Buck. Merry Christmas, Nibbles in chat. Well, Merry Christmas, Officer Buck. Hope you and yours are all well and happy and going to have a good Christmas. All right. Well, with that being said, this clocks in at just under 18 minutes. So we're going to be together for a little while. Make sure I have my voice ready for this. Let's see. Keever Dam. Angry Illinoisians GoFundMe. I had it stuck up there on the top of the chat earlier. I don't have it on me now. But if you post it, I will post it again. So there you go. Thank you so much, Keever Dam. Yes, but as a note, if you have the opportunity to check out the GoFundMe for our friend Angry Illinoisian, he's encountered some bad luck, I guess would be the most conservative way to put it. And an injury that workers' comp will not cover because it's one of those injuries that's difficult to prove, I guess, or to manifest for verification. So if you happen to have a couple of extra bucks around, please do think about donating. That's the word I was looking for, donating. Jonathan Peterson, hello. Cynic, hello. All right. So there we go. I will just pin Keeverdam's comment. So there it should appear momentarily. All right. With all that being said, I'm going to start off with a few seconds for sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear this, and then we'll begin. Oh, by the way, Folsom Prison. Oh.
So I want to share with you 3 poems.
Oh my God, 3. We're already at a list. We're not even 2 seconds in. Okay, you guys hear that? Because I heard that. Hope you heard that. If you didn't hear that, something's wrong. Wow. Okay. I'm going to 3 poems. That's an official list. Going to the bingo card, free space, and circling a list. Oh, man. He's got 18 minutes to wow us, everybody. Here we go.
And 3 distinctions.
Okay.
So that we can reimagine racism.
Please be satire. You sound so overdramatic. Please be satire.
Now, before I start, I want to ask that you forgive some of the potentially offensive words that I wrote into the poetry just to expose my ignorance of the time.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Any utterance of an offensive word, even if used to inform, is still offensive and will get you canceled. So I don't know, Sean. We'll just have to wait and see. Uh-oh. He's thinking. Okay, he's getting ready, guys. He's gathering his chi. He's getting ready for this. This is going to be tough. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on.
One of my childhood friends was Dominic.
Uh-huh.
We went to school and played baseball together.
Okay, childhood or family anecdote. Circling that one on the board. Boy, we're moving right along. We're not even a minute into this thing.
Now, he was always a much better athlete than me, but if I dare say, I was a little more clever.
Oh.
Just in school, because I was a nerd. Right. I graduated with more than a 4.0, but beyond all these A's on all my report cards, there was some life I just didn't know.
Oh, humble brag, humble brag. Oh.
Now, Dominic was black.
Wait. Did you say you were more clever than Dominic? Why? I don't. That might be offensive.
As we grew older, we got into debates.
Yeah.
The topics were deep and divisive a lot, but none more so than race.
Oh, okay.
I was screaming at him into my phone one day. We might as well have been face to face. Systemic racism was in our courtroom that day.
Systemic. Okay, systemic is up on the board. Systemic institutional. Circling that one. Oh, man. You know, I foresee at least one or several bingos out of this puppy.
And I was passionately pleading my case.
Yeah.
Save it with all the oppression talk, Dom.
Yeah.
I'd have no problem at all trading places.
Trading places? Is Eddie Murphy around?
How dare you accuse me?
Yeah.
You've known me too long.
Yeah.
How can you say that I'm racist?
Wait, your childhood friend Dominic called you a racist? And was there any basis for that? Yeah.
I'm not racist.
Yeah.
I'm not racist.
I know you're not. Your shirt tells me so. Yeah.
I'm not racist.
Real quick. Thank you, tall person. Let's have to jump down to it. Thank tall person. Hoy! Can't watch live. We'll watch in full later. Happy Festivus, everyone. Yes, Festivus for the rest of us. Thank you, tall person. Appreciate it. Ethan Hall. Hello. Just saw you there. Oh, man. I wonder if we'll get through this together, Sean. Oh, Sean. Please don't hurt yourself too much.
Am I?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
No, I'm not racist. I can't be racist. I got a lot of colored friends.
Oh, now you know you're racist, right? What did you just call them? What did you just 1950s? Hello.
I grew up with a lot of black people specifically, and I never called any of them, N's.
Oh, but you just called them coloreds. Jesus.
One of my girlfriend's name was Tahisha,
Uh-huh.
and she ain't white, so obviously I'm not a racist. I never attended any of those rallies with burning crosses and hoods covering up our faces. You'll never find a single picture of me anywhere with that hideous Nazi image, and I don't have a single slave owner, not one. I've checked.
Oh, but if you did have such a person in your background, but you're condemned for the sins of your forefathers. I assume that's what you're saying. And by the way, I know that self-vilification, etc., is almost a guarantee here, but I'm just going to let it run for a bit. That's all. Let's see. It'll pop up here because I see it on the one and not on the other. Matt Barnes, thank you so much. And then I called Dominic the N-bomb and removed all doubt. Yeah. I mean, he's going down the litany of indicators of inherent racism because, his girlfriend wasn't white and he has no slave owners in his background and etc. The old phrase, methinks thou doth protest too much, comes to mind.
In my entire family lineage.
Yeah.
Plus, I grew up with Doyle, Maurice, Clyde. One of my best friends was named Khalid.
Oh, well, okay. Yes. Obviously, you're setting us up for a big revelation of why you're totes racist. And you know what? I can believe it since I have an idea of where this is going.
We were schoolmates, classmates, roommates, teammates. Yeah. We always helped one another in need.
Yeah.
We'd play football on the grass for hours.
Wow.
Out in front of my swimming pool.
Yeah. Your swimming pool? Is that a sign of privilege?
I wasn't as fast because of the muscle structure, but still, with each other, we were cool. And I played baseball with Pedro, Miguel, Raul. The Rojos were like my own brothers. Camille was from Fiji, Karosh, Persia, Charles, Asia. I never thought of them as the others.
Okay, well, you know what, Sean? I have a feeling that, in fact, at that time, up until whatever guilt trip we're about to get to, self-imposed mostly, you actually weren't. You probably aren't in a way, but you may have become so in your rabid paranoia to not be.
There was Phil, Ricky, rest in peace, brother.
Okay.
And Brett, which gives me Puerto Rico, Philippines, France.
And suddenly the countries of the world song from Animaniacs comes to mind.
So it wasn't just blacks and browns I was cool with. I gave everyone an equal chance.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, okay.
So clearly I'm not a racist. Not me.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Does not sound like someone who is a racist. You're right. You're very correct, Sean. Why do I think that none of those facts set you at ease?
Can't be.
Yeah.
My parents raised me right. They taught me the color of skin don't matter, whether it's black, brown, yellow, or white.
Did they? Well, if they did, have you retained that virtue?
Obviously, I'm not a racist. I got the shirt.
Yeah.
And I check all the not racist boxes.
Uh-huh.
So then when Dominic said that I am.
Maybe Dominic's wrong. Please tell me that somewhere in here you entertained the possibility that Dominic was wrong.
I learned what a righteous ego paradox is.
Oh.
Sean, you're right. I know you. You're not consciously racist by any means.
Uh-huh.
But as much as you don't want to admit it,
yeah,
you were produced by a racist machine, and that racist machine benefits you more than it benefits me.
Oh, right. Okay. Again, did you ever entertain the possibility that Dominic is wrong? Thank you, Matt Barnes. Didn't Jimmy the Greek Snyder have something to say about muscular structure? Something a third muscle? He was immediately fired. This guy is... Yeah, well, I mean, I'm thinking back to my anthropology classes where it talked about the larkspur heel and such. But other than that, yeah, he interesting guy so far. Can't wait to see where this goes. Thank you, Toxic Nightshade. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas, Toxic Nightshade, to you and yours. Hope you are safe and warm and full of hot cocoa. Ebony Williams, hello. Yes. Oh Lord, is this slam poetry? It is spoken word poetry. I don't know if he's allowed to use the term slam. I have a feeling he'd have a problem with attributing that word to himself, but we shall see. Mike R. Self-vilification yet? Scribe like, I'm. It is a given. It is a given. There's no mystery about it. There's nothing to wait for. It will happen. So I'm just going to let it sit. Because if self-vilification for some reason comes down to be like the last square before a bingo or something else, let's suspense just. So just consider self-vilification already circled, but I'm going to wait to circle it for myself until after we've finished the talk.
You have privilege in that skin.
Oh, privilege! Privilege on the board. Privilege on the board. All right, so review real quick. Plays victim. We'll see. I don't know if victim vilification. We'll see. Leaves out vital context. Not yet. Weightless example. Don't know what he's getting to yet. Anecdote that probably never happened. Oh, I can believe all his anecdotes so far. Benevolent condescension. We'll get there. Self-vilification or wretchedness. Oh yeah. Haven't circled it yet, but you can if you want to at your end. It's fine. Feminism. No. Let's see. Sales pitch for product. Or service, no. Microaggression, unconscious bias, not yet. Patriarchy, no. Wage gap, not yet. Mind reading assumes motives. Well, Dominic sure is. So I'm going to circle that one. That is part of the presentation. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase, not yet. Word salad, not yet. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'll be surprised if we don't get there. Marginalized marginalization. Again, I'd just be surprised if we don't get there. Contradicts own point or argument. Don't know what the argument is yet. White supremacy. Well, he talked about the Ku Klux Klan, at least in the abstract, so I'm going to circle that one. Make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. Oh, he's got every reason, so it's got to be something completely non sequitur. Collectivize his own demographic. Directly... Not has he done it like as a white person kind of thing or white people? I don't think so. I'm going to wait on that one. So far we have circled childhood or family anecdote, privilege, free space, mind reading assumes motives, systemic institutional, a list, and white supremacy. And of course, if you at home would like to pre-circle self-vilification or wretchedness, that's fine. And if I do see that we're going to get a bingo without it already circled in the middle of this thing, then I will circle it and call it a bingo. Thank you, Keeverdam. Lexi's here. Also, do you want spam bots banned, timed out, or just their individual messages deleted? If you know and can tell it is a spam bot, just ban them. That's fine. But just be sure. I mean, I'm not paying attention to the chat every moment, but if you actually see a spam bot or somebody dumping ads in here or something, then yeah, just ban them. And then thank you, Officer Buck. Isn't it great how much of the gap explains? Yeah, doesn't it though? Doesn't it though? Especially statistical analysis and such. Moderators, I don't care what people say in here as long as it's, A, people, and B, not spammy or, threatening or something. Use your best judgment. I trust all y'all with your wrenches until I don't.
I don't.
Oh.
And Sean,
yeah. I'm
just trying to help you see.
I'm doing you a favor, Sean. Sean, I'm doing you a favor by telling you you're a racist. That's all I'm doing.
His words stopped me cold.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a reply because as much as I didn't want to admit it,
yeah,
he spoke truth.
Yeah, he did, I guess. Tell us how you're racist.
That I couldn't deny.
Okay, tell us the truth. What's the truth, Sean?
So the first distinction I want to offer you is the difference between existence and experience.
Okay, well, yes, you can exist without experiencing anything. Like, let's say you're in a vegetative state for some reason. Like you're brain dead. You exist technically, but you don't experience anything. Yes, I think I can imagine an example. What does that have to do with anything?
I have a friend that says, if you live in America and you deny that you're racist, that's like being in a swimming pool trying to tell people you're not wet.
I don't think that person should really be a friend of yours then. But hey, you've already accepted the fact that you're apparently a racist. because Dominic told you you were. So, okay.
It doesn't matter where you are in the pool.
Oh,
We're all wet because the water is the system that produced, positioned, and programmed all of us.
right. You can't be not racist. You're either racist or you're anti-racist. There's no in between, right? We're all guilty. Original sin, yes.
But now I never saw a problem in the water because the system never worked against me.
Really? Where's your hair? Oh, whoops, sorry.
So it's like if I were to try to explain what water is to a fish, the fish doesn't care. The fish has no reason to understand water. So the fish would deny the existence of water.
Okay, well, I think it would help, Sean, if you defined what racism is to you, so we can have a better idea of how to measure that against the actual definition. Because everything you described of your childhood, your relationships, your likes and dislikes, who you associated with, etc., would tend to indicate that you didn't discard or discourage anyone on the basis of their skin color, which is not being a very good racist if you were a racist. So thank you, John Miller. I'm not wet. I'm clammy. John Miller, are you a shellfish? Stop being shellfish.
And I denied the existence of racism because I didn't have the experience of racism as a white man.
Really? Well, welcome to the 21st century. It's happening all the time. I have a feeling you're doing it to yourself. I have a feeling that actually Dominic made you a victim of it by telling you you're a racist because of your skin color. You ever think of that one?
If it's not happening to me, it's not happening.
Oh, okay.
Another way to think about it is I was warm and dry and comfortable under the roof of my house, and Dominic's trying to tell me that it's raining.
No, Dominic's throwing a bucket of water on you, and you're choosing not to towel yourself off.
It's not raining on me, Dom. So it's not raining, Dom. And now, of course, I see the arrogance of that thinking.
The arrogance of that thinking. Oh, it's not arrogant to assume someone to have an ideology of racial supremacy on the basis of their skin color, and then pretend like you're somehow more self-righteous because you're so enlightened on the subject. Yeah, okay.
To deny his experience just because I didn't understand it, because I didn't have it.
Wait, what was his experience with you growing up? What possible experience did you provide him as a friend over the course of your childhoods and growing up that justifies anything Dominic said to you? You didn't even stop to question whether Dominic was wrong, did you? No, not really.
And then to claim that my perspective was the only valid one?
Well, depending on the circumstances, it's more valid than Dominic's, because Dominic had absolutely no evidence on which to base his accusation. So, possibly so. Thank you again, Matt Barnes. I have to do it. Jiggity jig, hee-haw, hee-haw. It's Dominic the Donkey? Okay, now that's a song I don't know. So if you have to do it, and I didn't do it justice, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I know not what I do.
What was interesting, though, is I didn't do this with any other topics. I didn't deny the existence of cancer. Before it took my dad. Or drug addiction before it grabbed one of my family members.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Cancer, provides some kind of evidence of its presence. Drug addiction provides some kind of evidence of its presence. Dominic accused you of holding an ideology of racial supremacy. And there was no evidence for it. So, yeah.
So what was it about racism
Mm-hmm.
that had me so invested in denying it?
Okay. What do you mean? You mean denying the existence of it in general, like in the world? I mean, that would be pretty stupid. Yes. Denying it within yourself in the absence of any evidence, that's perfectly valid.
When that answer came to me,
Oh,
it was actually really simple.
okay.
Why am I so compelled to deny this?
Because it's not true? Maybe. Thank you, God Ratty, the one true God of all rats. Just did a asset editing stream and seen you streaming. Had to come over, still editing, but not streaming. An asset editing stream. I have no idea what that is. Is that like assets for like animation or art or something? I would love to know, but thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt your stream, but hello. Yeah, tell me what an asset editing is, because when I think of like assets, I think of like 3D modeling or digital art or things like that. So I'm curious. Red X Pen, hello. I'll get some hellos in here as I see them. Also, Lexi Mads, hello. I apologize. I did not acknowledge you directly earlier. I'm not rewinding.
What am I trying to prove? Who am I trying to protect inside this? What do I have to lose?
Oh my God, this guy.
Is it possible that I do have white privilege? And if so, what does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? You tell me. What does that mean?
Does it mean that I am one of the bad guys, that I'm actually on the wrong team?
Yes. In the definition as produced to me so many times, yes, you are inherently on the wrong team, and you will never, ever escape it. So, yeah, that's a problem. There are models by Cinti and editing to work together in my game. Cool. Well, good luck on the editing. I have absolutely no talent with editing models and things, just doing poor Photoshop. So, hey.
Is there such a thing as a good racist?
I don't know, Sean. Why don't you tell us? Because if you're telling us you're a racist, you can't be a good person. Or I should say, it is a major flaw in your character if you're actually a racist. Frosted Glass, I don't get a hello. Everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Yeah.
Or am I one or the other, dirty or clean?
Oh.
Is it possible that I'm not consciously racist, but I was produced by this racist machine?
Well, then I guess you're damned no matter which direction you're coming at it from, aren't you, Sean?
You know, there's a show called Blackish.
Yes.
So can I be racist-ish?
Yeah. You're just a little racist, Sean. That's like being a little pregnant. Jesus. Thank you, Jaeger Pony. He sounds like a youth pastor proselytizing to children. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I mean, he is giving us the good word of the new original sin. So, yeah.
Like, kind of racist, but not totally?
No, Sean. I hope you know that that doesn't really work, no.
Can I have worked really hard for all that I have, but have privilege that just isn't known to me?
I don't know, Sean. You tell us. You're the wise man on the mountain here. You tell us.
Can I have grown up with color-filled friends, but still be prejudiced in spite of it? Can I believe I have a colorless lens, but be blind to the pigments inside of it? Can I go from color blind to color kind and lean into the ignorance at first sight of it?
Okay, I understand that in poetry, like so many other things, sometimes things don't hang together too well, but I'm circling word salad. I am circling word salad. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to circle collectivize his own demographic because already we're almost halfway through this sucker. And yeah. Okay. Circling that one. We are. Boy, oh boy. We're one square away from a bingo already. If he makes something about race, sex, etc. And it's that etc. part at this point because obviously he has a reason for bringing up race. He has to bring up something that's completely out of nowhere as some major topic or something and never revisit it again. So, oh, I have arguments in the chat here. Let's see. Mike R. Color kind. New buzzword describe like? I don't know. That's kind of the, I guess that'll be the quandary as we go forward. Does simply putting words together for the sake of a rhyme constitute a new phrase of usage? He's only used it once. Let's wait on that. I'll wait. I could be convinced, but let's wait and see.
Can I be tempted by the sweet nectar of a familiar fruit?
What?
And have the courage to not take a bite of it?
And again, just as a note, I am withholding a lot of my WTF reflexes here because we are talking about poetry. So reaching attempts at rhyme does not necessarily mean it's WTF time.
Can I be racist, but it not be my fault? Can I be white, but it not mean I'm guilty? Can I speak up, but avoid the assault? Can I be a part of the problem and still be a part of the solution?
You dropped the beat there. You can't be white and not be guilty. Under this system that you have already conjured up, Dominic called you a racist without any justifiable reason, and you accepted it wholeheartedly. You did that. And Dominic was not being your friend when he did that. Dominic was asserting power over you. He was diminishing you on the basis of your race. He was making you feel bad for being what you are and not who you are. Now, you may not be willing to accept that, and obviously you're not, but that's what happened there. So that's the reality that you have created for yourself.
So the idea that all white people are racist was like a character attack on me.
Well, I'm glad you realize that. I'm backing up a little bit because I cut him off. I was so surprised at that rational statement that I had to stop myself for a second, or stop him.
Okay. All white people are racist was like a character attack on me.
Yes, it was.
Because if racist equals bad and white equals racist and I equal white, then I equal bad.
That is the chain of logic. Yes, that is the unavoidable chain of logic. That's what happens when you tie a quality of a person to an immutable part of their makeup. That's what happens when you associate character with color of skin. Yes, Sean, that is what happens. So now tell me, as we're reaching the midway point of your presentation, that this is where your entire story takes a turn and you're going to reject the accusation from Dominic as demonstrable nonsense. Right?
It was as simple as that. That's what I was trying to protect against. I didn't want to admit that I was a bad person.
Are you a bad person, Sean? Or are you telling yourself you're a bad person because someone accused you of something? that you didn't do? Are you like one of those guys that ends up confessing to murder in a police interrogation room when they didn't, but then make themselves believe they are guilty?
So the second distinction I want to give you is the separation between entity and identity.
You didn't even tell us what the separation between existence and experience was yet, or how that related to anything. Oh. Now, would that count as a make something about X for no reason? Oh, let's see.
When Dominic said I was produced by this racist machine, it allowed me to pull my ego out of the problem.
No. Dominic gave you two levels of possible self-indictment. Either you are inherently racist in your inner thoughts and your subconscious, or even if you can't convince yourself of that, then you are the product of same. And so you are unable to avoid complicity in racism. That's what that was. He was setting you up and you fell for it.
And retain the idea that I have an identity as a good person inside of an entity of a bad system.
Okay. Well then, riddle me this, Batman. Let's say, and you can insert whatever historical whatevers you want here. Let's say I am someone born underneath, figuratively speaking, an oppressive regime. I'm just born into a country by chance that is run by a oppressive regime that uplifts some and downtrodden's the others on the basis of things that have nothing to do with anything. Okay, let's say I'm born into that. Am I then guilty of that ideology if I actively, reject it? I may not be able to avoid where I live and who my family members are or what country I live in and so on. But do I have to bear the burden of actions and thoughts that I've never possessed?
And then I didn't have this compulsion to try to defend my character in conversations that weren't about my goodness.
Yes, because you surrendered. You surrendered the accusation and you internalized the evilness that you're being accused of. You gave up, Sean. You gave in. You capitulated. That's not a cleansing. That is a defeat.
I mean, my goodness.
Yes.
Bless my heart.
Uh-huh.
But the third distinction was the most powerful and profound for me.
Okay.
It's this separation from biology and ideology.
Yes, Sean. Yes, there is a separation between those two things. Now, are you going to tell us that that is a misnomer? Because otherwise, nothing of what you're doing or saying of yourself so far makes any sense.
You see, all these racial atrocities that we have in our history, they didn't happen because of the perpetrator's white biology.
You know that there are racial atrocities committed by people who were not white, don't you? Or don't you?
They happened because the perpetrators were committed to their white ideology.
Okay, Sean. Tell us about what is a white ideology? What ideology is inherently tied to skin color? Tell me what ideology inherently ties Joe Biden to Donald Trump? What inherently ties a native-born Texan to a native-born Polak? Tell me true.
That says they're better than everybody else.
That is a white ideology. Okay. Now, is that something you actually believe to be true?
They were superior to everybody else. And in their minds, that justified all the savagery that they committed. So this kind of white has absolutely nothing to do with ethnicity. It's actually based on a supremacy philosophy.
Okay, Sean, what separates any random white person from this ideology? Right? I mean, you apparently can't escape it, even though you never practiced anything like it growing up. So is there a separation between biology and ideology, or are you telling us that there is no separation between biology and ideology? Because if you're telling us that there is no separation between biology and biology is referring to skin color, then Sean, you are a racist.
That actually didn't even show up, according to historians, till about the early 1600s. That was the first time that people said, we are white and therefore righteous.
Really? Tell me about the treatment of Irish in America, or Jewish people, or Italians in the, I don't know, early 1800s, thereabouts. Yeah, okay. Or hell, tell me about the distinction between Catholics and Protestants in Ireland.
Which means anybody who's not white is impure, ungodly. They deserve or might even enjoy the treatment that we're giving them. They're like animals that don't have pain.
Okay, and what elements are you attributing to white people now, Sean? You know, what judgments, what values, what systems, what thoughts are you attributing specifically to people on the basis of their skin color in the today, Sean?
And they believed it.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you might think that the roots of that thinking are not alive, there was a study.
Oh, no, Sean. I know that they are alive. I am looking at it right now. I cut them off. I'm going to back up a couple of seconds here.
They believed it. Now, if you might think that the roots of that thinking are not alive, there was a study published by the National Academy of Sciences. They were looking at the racial disparity in pain prescriptions.
The racial disparity in pain prescriptions. I don't know if I've ever heard about this one before. Okay, tell me about the racial disparity in pain prescriptions.
In the medical community.
Yes.
And they found that 50% of white medical students and residents, out of hundreds, actually believed that the nerve endings are different in black people.
Well, you talked to us earlier about the differences in musculature. I mean, I have no idea how the nervous system operates genetically or anything else, so I don't know what to say to that, but we'll get to it in a second. Thank you, God, a ratty of the rats. Answer to all these questions you just asked is 6 inches. What? Okay. My mind is gutter bound enough to wonder if that's not some kind of penis reference. But in the absence of knowing exactly what that was, I'll just say thank you. I'm sure someone will solve the riddle for me here shortly, because I'm obviously denser than lead.
And black people feel less pain than white people.
I am going to assume that is medically unsound. But okay, 50, did he say 50% of white? Sorry, I'm going to go back to make sure I understand this in context. I apologize. Just make sure I get this.
That the roots of that thinking are not alive. There was a study published by the National Academy of Sciences. They were looking at the racial disparity in pain prescriptions in the medical community.
Okay.
And they found that 50% of white medical students and residents.
50%. So half of all medical students and residents who are white Half of all. Okay. Ratty says, you asked what separates Trump and Biden and everything. 6 inches? I thought it was 6 degrees of separation. Or the answer is 42. All right. Okay, so 50% of all white medical professionals, we'll just say, half of all white medical professionals believe that black people's nervous systems are different than other people's nervous systems.
Out of hundreds,
Yeah.
actually believed that the nerve endings are different in black people.
Uh-huh.
And black people feel less pain
Uh-huh.
than white people.
Okay, so half of the white medical establishment is racist, is what you're saying.
And you guys, this wasn't centuries ago. This wasn't generations ago.
Uh-huh.
This was 2016.
Oh my gosh.
It's in the water.
Tell me again about the musculature in the sports you played with your friends as a kid. I mean, I have no idea if any of that is actually true. I don't know. And the fact that you haven't said that it isn't true to counter that, okay. I would love to see this study that says this, but either way, even if it's true, well, what does that indicate to you? Did they do a survey of any other medical professionals of any other skin color and see if they held any odd or mistaken beliefs about people on the basis of something or other? Is that reflective of racism or just an incomplete understanding of reality? If you're going to bring that up, you got to back it up with a little bit more.
It's just invisible to so many of us. So the distinction between biology and ideology allowed me to have pride in my biology of European descent.
What?
And all the ancestral roots that I have and this color skin that holds my bones and organs together, but denounce the ideology of supremacy and power.
Okay. So there is no distinction between biology and ideology. Is that what I am to understand here? That's your statement. So what about the other 50% of the medical professionals? Are they just, what, immune to this?
And if you don't agree with that ideology,
break
up with it.
You've just basically laid out how it's impossible. Dominic told you possessed this ideology in the absence of any demonstrable evidence or examples. Okay, tell me, Sean, how do I extricate myself from this belief system that is inherently tied to something that I have absolutely no control over? Or is tied to the system under which I was born that I have absolutely no control over? Or is connected through the mystic cords of memory to ancestors I've never met that I have absolutely no control over?
In fact, I did one better.
Oh.
Now, I went to school in the 80s and 90s. And
hey, I did too. Oh, God, I feel old.
If any of you did also, a breakup letter is not legit and official unless it's like handwritten on lined paper, right?
Oh, we've stopped doing the slam poetry. So the title of this presentation is literal. You wrote a Dear John letter to racism.
This is legit.
Oh, yeah.
Dear racism. A breakup letter from a white man. You've been manipulating me from the beginning, but this is where our relationship ends.
Hey, this letter should be like, Dear Dominic, honestly, because it sounds like Dominic is the root of your self-guilt trip.
In my blindness, I couldn't see that you were getting me to defend against the challenges of the people whose inquiries I dismissed. Their accusations that I'm a racist had me ready to swing a fist. But when I opened up my eyes and ears and heart, I saw the twist. The greatest trick you ever pulled on me is convincing me you don't exist.
Kaiser Soze!
I became a loyal recruit for you. I diverted the pursuit for you. While you laid low in the shadows, I stood tall in the light and refuted you. Without knowing it, I deflected, misdirected, and concluded you were dead. Over. A thing of the past, buried in the ills of history. But remember the Scooby villain? When they take off the mask, it reveals the mystery. It was the dude that no one suspected. His innocence was so convincible, and he knew hiding in plain sight can make something visible become so missable.
Oh, those are some stretches that I think Mr. Fantastic would have trouble reaching. Dominic, if someone is actually innocent of murder, then somebody comes along and accuses them of being a murderer, are they a better person for capitulating to the accusation? I mean, does it make it right then? Does it make it correct? Because they've decided to accept it in and of themselves, an accusation without any weight to it. Has that person now cleansed themselves of this false belief that they were not a murderer?
So I believed what you wrote in my textbooks. In fact, I aced all of your tests. I believed Columbus discovered America like the classic rhyme suggests, but how do you discover a land with people on it? I mean, what was the story? That they were just guests? And because you thought it was India, we're going to call them India? Never mind, I digress. I believe the cowboys were the good guys on their horses I wanted to ride in my Halloween costume. I'll kill those savage Indians with their dirty eyes.
Oh, okay. So if someone tells you something that is demonstrably false after you've looked at the evidence and you then, enlighten yourself on the actual truth of a situation after someone's told you something that is demonstrably false, well, then that's a good thing. That's something we should be encouraging. Not to believe in some kind of put upon myth or accusation of kindness or evil or anything else. We should actually look for the truth, the evidence. Is that what you're telling me, Sean? Are you telling me that someone just saying something is true isn't where the conversation should stop? Is that what you're telling me, Sean? Are you telling that to yourself at all?
The subtle seeds that white is right and dark is wrong were planted inside. It was indoctrination.
Then why did you have friends who weren't white when you were a kid? Why did you have a girlfriend who wasn't white when you were a kid? It was just a show? You were lying the whole time to everybody? You just didn't know it until Dominic told you? I tell you what, that's some kind of act.
You had me playing make-believe with genocide.
Every man has his limit.
What? What is that? What the fuck is that?
Okay, Sean, tell me how you were playing make-believe with genocide. I'm dying to know.
You mostly taught me about two black leaders, Malcolm X and MLK. You said they both were powerful but led their people in different ways. One preached for peace and turning cheeks from the other, violence was advocated. But what's your embedded message underneath, since both were assassinated?
What's your embedded message underneath? I don't know. What is the embedded message underneath, Sean? Thank you, Officer Buck. What do you call it when you find something that you had no knowledge of? Could it be discovery, like how I discovered a new place to eat? Yeah. Or again, if someone gives you a story that after you look into it, you can say, that's not true, then maybe it's the person telling you the story that is wrong and not you. I feel, I can't help but feeling like I'm going down Dr. Seuss territory here every time I say a rhyme. Oh, well, let's get back to it. It's story time.
Could it be the way to be protected is to never cause disruption, make sure the leaders are reelected, disguise all their corruption? You sold half-truths and outright lies with confidence and no apology. Turns out you weren't teaching me history, you were teaching me white mythology.
Okay, again, Sean, let's just, for the sake of argument, stipulate that everything you were taught in school that had to do with anything either American and or white and or the interaction of race, let's say it's all untrue. You had the total rose-colored glasses textbooks that do and have existed, and you were exposed to all of it. And as you grew up and as more information came your way, you found out that what you were told was not true. I will grant you that. I think we've all been there in one way, shape, or form. So tell me, Sean, what evidence is there? Or was there? Because at this point, there is. But what evidence was there at the time that Dominic told you that you were a racist, that you were a racist? Because like I said before, if you weren't a racist then, in working towards self-hatred and acceptance of the accusation, you have become one.
Where whoever's holding the pen gets to write the stories like they were wishing them, and most of the truthful pages of what really happened, well, your school books are missing them. Like the fact that so many of our founding fathers had no problem with slavery. Like the fact that so many of the people you slaughter were killed for expressing their bravery. Like the fact that the laws politicians have written on top of that hill that you sent them to can be fair on the surface, but applied in a prejudiced way to uphold what you meant them to.
Sean, is slavery exclusive to white people? Yes or no? Just riddle me that one. That's not a forgiveness of it. But you're making the accusation here. Is slavery an invention or a practice of white people, or has it been an invention and practice of human beings across history? Is there a racial boundary to enslaving people? Is there a racial boundary to enslaving people who look just like you, Sean? Got any ideas on that one? You want to go anywhere with that? We always hear about slavery as though this is something that is just exclusive to either American history or white culture or anything else. Is that really the road you want to go down? Well, obviously you have.
Or like the fact that slavery is taught as the history of black people instead of the history of white people.
Sean, Barbary Coast. Just one example. The different tribes of Native Americans. What did different tribes do to one another when they captured members of another tribe? What were some things that occurred there? How about China? You want to talk about history of, indentured servitude, slavery, and so on? It is not exclusive to skin color, Sean. The fact that you are implying that it is an element of racism, Sean.
Well, I've been doing my own research, and it turns out if you dissect the obscenity, white's not even a race or ethnicity.
Oh.
It's actually just an identity of arrogance and superiority based on being a majority. But let me ask, who was the original minority on a continent you invaded?
White isn't a race. Ethan Klein, is that you?
You needed a brand new system on which people's value could be rated. So you chose color because it was easy and effective for people to be persuaded. An illusion of superiority, delusion of false priority, collusion of fake seniority to claim authority categorically. Man, get out of here with that bullshit.
You're not that clever, Sean. You're really not. Turning nonsense into a bunch of rhyme schemes doesn't make it art. Well, I guess it's art of a kind.
Keep quiet, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Don't challenge me.
Yeah.
Stop asking me to defend it.
Yeah.
It's easier to blindly follow and just keep trying to pretend it comes straight from the word of God or whatever pulpit's trying to preach it.
Sorry, who's preaching what here now? What have you been preaching the last 15 minutes? You're preaching to me, the audience, that I, because of my skin color, am inherently bad. Or if I'm not inherently bad, then the mere existence of me is a product of something that's inherently bad, and so the fruit has fallen from the poison tree. So who's proselytizing again?
That heaven is the ultimate landing place, and being righteous is how to reach it.
Righteous? Okay, did he pull an Elmer Fudd, or was he just righteous? Oh, please tell me that was intentional. That's brilliant. Yeah, no, I got it. That, I don't care what else. That is a new, but holy cats! Chicago Mike. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Chicago Mike. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mike. Oh my gosh. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Where was I? Oh yes, righteous. Let's take a look at that one more time. Now back up a couple seconds here.
Don't challenge me. Stop asking me to defend it. It's easier to blindly follow and just keep trying to pretend it comes straight from the word of God or whatever pulpit's trying to preach it. That heaven is the ultimate landing place, and being righteous is how to reach it.
I don't know, but that's a new buzzword right there. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. That's great. That is great. Thank you, Sean. Of all the things that we may be talking about you in the near future, I want to thank you for that one. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I got to remember that one. Let's see. Oh boy, benevolent condescension. I don't know, guys. Do you think he's been benevolently condescending so far? You think he has? Because I got to tell you, I sure think he has.
Bingo. What? Of course!
Diagonal down from the O to the B. Benevolent condescension, privilege, free space, word salad, and systemic institutional. We have our first bingo. Oh boy, Sean. One of many, I'm sure. I have a feeling we're going to get at least a couple more out of this by the end of it. Okay. Tell me more of your righteous indignation, Sean.
Righteous.
Oh, yes! It was no mistake. It was no mistake. We were totally on point. Good job, Sean. Wowzers. We don't usually get buzzword. That doesn't happen very often. New buzzword, buzz phrase. Man, Sean, you have taken the gold on this one. Oh, gosh, that's great.
Your subtle construct that dark is evil and white is good, that dark people are therefore dangerous, and that everybody should think, perceive, behave like us, because after all, we set the standard for everyone else to be compared to, and should any of the others dare to claim validity in their different experiences, you'll react like we've been slandered.
Sean, do you think Dominic would have been offended if you claimed validity over your not being racist? Would he feel slandered if you decided not to buy what he was selling? So wouldn't that make him...
But the truth is, you think there's only one position at the top.
Oh.
So if someone gains, someone loses. If someone rises, someone falls.
That's kind of how it works in life. Yes, Sean.
That's a scarcity mentality where you believe there's not enough room for all.
At the top, there is often very little room at the top for all, Sean. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the top. There'd be a new top. And my brain is immediately going into BDSM territory, and that's not healthy right here.
And when people just merely stand up for themselves, it feels like aggression to you, because across the board equality, well, that would be like oppression to you.
Oh, so if I stand up against someone's accusation of my being ideologically defective, and they call that blank rage or something, right? Is that me standing up for myself or not? Are they right or not, Sean?
In truth, I've grown to pity you.
Eh.
I no longer despise you.
No, you just employ it. You don't despise it. You just employ it in a way that makes you feel like you're better and not bad. You've accepted the accusation as fact, and thus are you cleansed. Mayhaps one day you will reach the pearly gates of righteousness.
I have a feeling the number of letters like this you have coming is going to surprise you.
Mm.
I won't speak for anyone else.
Excuse me? You won't what?
I'll let them do their talking.
No, Sean, you in fact have not. You in fact indicted everyone who shares your skin color. You're not allowing anybody else to speak. In fact, you are invalidating anything anyone else has to say on the subject because you are righteous. That's a really good word. That's a really good word to describe you, Sean. You. You've given yourself your own ideological category, Sean. You are in fact not applying that to other people. You're describing yourself. Once again, TEDx is a stage of the speaker's mind, whether they know it or not.
But the spell you had me under is over. So you stay here while I keep walking.
Oh, yeah. You've totally walked away from racism, Sean. You've so walked away from it, you have to wear a shirt telling people you're not, because otherwise, obviously, they're going to assume that you are because of your skin color, right, Sean? Right? And you're totally not a racist. I really do. I really do. For Sean's sake, I really do hope this is one giant piece of satirical performance art. I really do. For everything I could say. But the problem is, this doesn't sound like something that I wouldn't necessarily hear from someone who believes it. If it is not real, it is one of the best pose I've ever witnessed.
I don't want to be associated anymore with your recognizable images.
Too late.
So let's just call it what it is. You and I got irreconcilable differences.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to stay friends.
Uh-huh.
It's over.
Yeah.
We're through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And let me be clear.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The pun I used for the thumbnail, and he just said it. Oh, that's perfect. That's so perfect.
Sincerely, Sean.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, man, that's perfect.
What Dominic did for me.
What Dominic did for you. What Dominic did for you. I cannot wait to hear what Dominic did for you. Because all Dominic did was betray a friend for the sake of a power game. He used an accusation of racial deficiency against you, and you bought it whole hog. That's what Dominic did for you. But you tell us your interpretation of the great benefit that Dominic bestowed upon you on that phone call.
That was extremely important, is that instead of calling me out, he called me in.
Sean, my boy, are you kidding me? Sean, He told you that your entire friendship was a lie. He told you that all of your friendships were lies. He told you that you are an inherent liar, that you are an inherent racist, that you are an inherent villain, and forever will you be, and indistinguishable from everybody else who happens to share your skin color, Sean. He is not making you part of the in-group in that accusation, Sean. He has categorized you as an inherent enemy, possessing of a sin that you will forever have to seek penance for from people who do not look like you, and vilifying everybody else who does. Sean, come on, Sean.
Which is what we need in these conversations.
Oh, Lord.
We need compassion and curiosity.
Compassion? You think what he did was compassionate? Man, you are broken. Absolutely broken.
We need to ask questions.
Did you ask questions? Did you actually ask any questions? I got a question for you. How was Dominic right? At the time that he made this accusation, what evidence was there for it? Actual evidence, behavior on your part, treatment of other people, beliefs that you held and practiced. Where were they?
We need to open conversations instead of stop trying to end them.
He called you a racist and told you that any resistance to that accusation was proof of its efficacy, Sean. That was not the introduction to a conversation. That was a dictate, Sean. An accusation without evidence is not an introduction to a dialogue, Sean. It is the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega of the judgment upon you. Sean.
And with the three distinctions that I've shared,
No.
and heart-to-heart communication, we can actually have forward-moving, conscious conversations that can unite us instead of further divide us.
No. Not conscious conversations, Sean. Courageous conversations. Glenn Singleton will get you for that copyright violation. Maybe that's why he didn't say it.
So if you've been inspired by anything I said today,
No.
and you feel moved to do so,
there's a particular kind of movement I feel like I'm going to have after I'm done with this show, but other than that, not really.
I would be honored to read your breakup letter to racism. Thank you.
A standing ovation? Really? A standing ovation for that? Golf clap. Golf clap. Okay. Oh, boy. Man, that was something else. That was something. 18 minutes. Oh, man. Okay. Well, let's get on to the wonderful world of bingo card. Oh, good. I was worried that it might be slightly, I mean, it is slightly obstructed. Emily, whittle it down just a little bit. Okay, that's, you can see the squares at least. Okay. Let's get to the card here. And this is where we're at, guys. I'm going to go over it once more by myself. I will then open up the floor to arguments for squares to be circled. And also, if you hadn't already, take a look at the pinned comment in the chat. Our friend Angry Illinoisian is needing some help after a injury that he is not going to be given any help with by the people that should be helping him. And so he's asking for a little bit of support. And if you happen to have a couple of extra bucks around, please consider donating there. All right, plays victim. Okay, this is where I'm not sure. And the reason I say that is because he was operating on his righteousness. Now, vilifying himself, certainly. But was he playing the victim when he's acting like an enlightened, arrogant jerkwad? I don't know, because he accepted the accusation, right? He accepted the accusation. So I don't know. That I'm not certain enough to circle it. So if you have an argument for it, just hold on. Leaves out vital context. I guess, well, I mean, there was that study. I mean, when we're talking about poetry, it's kind of tough, but leaves out vital context. Maybe I'm blanking. I mean, the things that come to mind. Okay, I'm going to let that sit because if I don't have an automatic answer. Weightless example. Your three distinctions. You never made those make any sense, except for the one where you seem to say there is no separation between biology and ideology. But the other two, yeah, I never understood what existence versus experience did what now? It made no sense. Anecdote that probably never happened. The only anecdote in this entire thing that I can think of that had any weight to it that I would have to weigh is Dominic's phone call and accusation. And I have no reason to believe that didn't happen because he's based his entire life's belief on that one event. So I don't think there was any anecdotes in there that Yeah, if you can think of one, let me know. Self-vilification or wretchedness, by all means, yes. Yep, it was a foregone conclusion probably, but there it is. Feminism, no, you didn't bring up gender roles or anything at all in this. Sales pitch for product or service, nope. Microaggressions, unconscious bias. No, he never mentioned them. And his examples were not, I mean, slavery is not a microaggression, right? No, unconscious bias. Oh, the survey. Sorry. Yes, the medical survey, the nerve system or the nervous system is there. Yeah, okay. There you go. Unconscious bias. There you go. That's fine. Patriarchy, no. Wage gap. I mean, he talked about privilege, but he didn't get at any point that I can recall into finance in that way, or talking about like disparity. He talked about like disparities in races because of the medical thing. He didn't talk about like financial disparities. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, see, part of me wants to say I could stretch inclusion to include the whole, he didn't push me out, he invited me in, that thing. But that's not a direct quote. That's me reaching. And this is the last square before a bingo. So I'm going to need a really good argument if he never said the words. Because I don't think he did. And if I'm mistaken, correct me. But marginalization. It's heavily implied throughout all of this with all the examples and his confessions and everything. I'm on aggregate, I'm comfortable circling that one. Contradicts own point or argument. Yes, the entire thing. How he's not racist. He's totally not racist. He's divorced himself from racism. Oh, by the way, let me tell you about the white ideology. Oh, Sean. And lastly, make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. For no reason. I'm sure there's a good one in there somewhere, but since one's not coming to me automatically and it is the square before a bingo again, I will leave it to you guys. All right, so that's where we are in the bingo card, guys. If you have arguments for squares to be circled, and I haven't somehow missed a bingo that I should be noting at this point, I don't think so. Okay. Put them in the chat now. Be sure to tag me in your argument so I can see it more clearly from everything else. And let's see, this is a big message from Peter Silak, K313. It's Christmas Eve here. I didn't have cookies and milk, but I'll leave a blunt and a fifth of bourbon out for the big man. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. You want Santa to fly intoxicated? That sounds like an Australian thing to do. I believe it. I believe it. Frosted Glass plays victim. He claimed he was indoctrinated into racism by the system against his will. Oh, good one. Good one. Good one. You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. So when you're right, You're totally right.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Bingo number 2. Bingo number 2. Kieverdam, thank you so much. Did he also partake in self-vanillification, righteousness? Yeah. Man, righteousness. If I've never heard that before, God, that's great. That's going to become a running gag. Oh man. Be sure to let Monkey let Monkey know that one next time you see Monkey on one of his streams. Tell him about that, because that's great. Self-righteousness. I love it. It's great. Let's see. Let's see. Pissed off Shih Tzu. Scribe, didn't his friend call him a racist without providing no evidence of racism? That's basically it. Yeah, he gave 2 trap doors to Sean. In one of that, even if you're not acting racist, you are a product of it. So even if Sean couldn't realistically identify any behaviors on his part that would say he was racist, he's still guilty. Yes. So original sin. So that did happen. Was that an argument for a square that I'm just not connecting? Gwen Plain. I feel like he must have made something about race for no reason. Well, that's the thing. The entire presentation is based on talking about racism. So bringing up race throughout anywhere in the presentation is justified by the talk, not necessarily justified in his argumentation or his points, but there has to be a non sequitur. He has to bring up something really profound in the middle of it somewhere, or try to make it a point or bring it up like it's a point and then never mention it again. So yeah, I guess that's the disconnect I have there. Let's see. I got to scroll up because I probably missed some. Or maybe not. All right. Well, any other arguments for squares to be circled, guys? I'll give it another minute or two. Programming note, I will still be doing a Sunday stream this Sunday, if you can believe it, the day after Christmas. So Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I have no idea what it'll be about. We'll find out together. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Yeah, this stream's so scribe Lychus. Also, Twitter DM. Oh, okay. I'll look at that soon. Spittlebuggies, the Indians, Scribe Light, why? Well, again, him talking about the evils done by Americans or white people or whatever else is it's a justifiable part of his presentation. So, bringing up examples to back up his quote unquote argument doesn't, just, it is an offhanded mention, but it's still part of the overall. It has to be an absolute non sequitur. That's the issue. Thank you, Resolute Germ, for the karate dog cat fox. Oh, dog cat fox.
Wow wee. Wow wow.
Yes. Oh, dog cat fox. Brought to you by Tailed Feature. Tailed Feature actually gave me 2 of those. 2 different versions. If you'd like to hear the other one, I need to have a dog cat fox show up again. Chicago Mike, can we just mark feminism for no reason? No, sorry. The sanctity of the card must be maintained. All right, so leaves out vital context. Anecdote that probably never happened. I don't know. Yeah, feminism, no. Sales pitch for product or service, no. Wage gap, patriarchy. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Make some of that race, sex, yeah. The only keystones left really on the one-offs are diversity, equity, and inclusion. Make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. If he never said any of those words, or I get really good argument. I mean, wait. What did he go through in describing his childhood? He went through naming off all the different kinds of friends he had and how he treated them good. And oh boy, I think I might have just talked myself into A double bingo. Uh-oh.
Oh, won't somebody please?
Bingo. B-I-N-G-O.
Okay.
Right?
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Oh my gosh. Yep, that is, we have a triple bingo. A triple bingo. I think that might be it, guys. I don't know that there's anywhere else to go. Wait, quadruple bingo. Was it quadruple bingo? Oh, wait. You're right. Wait, no. Oh, yeah, no, quadruple bingo. Yeah, we have the two. Yeah, that's right. Okay, sorry. My brain went sideways for a second there. I was like, yes, you're right. It is quadruple bingo. I was wrong about the triple thing. I thought I'd missed another bingo, like it happened and I didn't notice. No, it's fine. It's fine. So quadruple bingo. My apologies. 4 on the floor for bingo. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not surprised, I suppose, given the length of the presentation, although we've seen some before that has very little and comes up with lengthy times on it. But either way, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. Boy, this was a totally beneficial talk because we got a new word out of it. We got a brand new word that we must make a running gag. And thankfully, he used as the conclusion to his letter the very phrase I made as a pun for the thumbnail. It is so perfect. It is almost, dare I say, poetic. Now, thank you, Kiefer Dam. Circle the whole card. I sent you a Twitter DM too. Oh yes, circle the whole card. Yes, I did do a WTF at one point for him abiding genocide or whatever the heck he said. I forget what it was now, but yes, let me save that. Circle that. There you go. And with that, everyone. Oh boy, can you check Twitter DMs? Says Spuddy. Boy, oh boy, I'm just getting regaled here. All right, I will go through my Twitters after the show here. Appreciate it. But yes, with that, everyone, I'm going to call this here. Before I leave, again, please take a look, if you will, at the link in the chat at the top to Angry Illinoisians GoFundMe. If you happen to have a couple extra dollars, think about consider passing them on to him. He's in some need. But I just like to take the opportunity to wish everybody here a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you like, whichever. My family did our stuff at the beginning of the month, and we're not having an official get-together. So whatever works for you, just have a happy time, a safe time, a healthy time. Spend it with friends or family, or if you happen to be all alone, know that you're not alone in being alone, because you are not alone. But everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, unless you're a spam bot, you have very little to do. Everybody who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. Everybody who argued for squares to be circled or thought it over or helped make this presentation so much more fun than it could have been otherwise, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. As always, everyone, I hope you are all safe and well. If you are not well, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody, and have a cookie and some milk, unless you're Australian Santa Claus, and then it's Peter's fault.